Yo, welcome back to another BGHETTO video. In this video, I'll be doing a Q&A because I posted a video last week asking you guys to ask me any questions that you wanted me to answer on this next coming video. In that video, I also asked you guys to let me know what you want to see me do in the off season, so there might be a little bit of crossover in this video with some questions also saying what they want in the off season. But make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments just how you've been doing. I do not want this video to go for like 2 hours, so I'm going to answer every question that's on here, but I'm not going to answer them in great detail. I'm going to answer them as best and as quick as I possibly can to get through them all. And if there's any questions that are the same or very similar, I'll just say I already answered that one earlier. So let's get straight into the questions. All right, let's get into this. I have not looked at any of the questions, so this is the first time of me seeing these questions. I'm going to go through them, and yeah, we'll see how they are. All right, first question is from hotdog-42. He says, I would love to see more VR cricket and winter cricket. Question, what uni courses did you study to get into sports turf management? All right, I have answered this a couple of times on previous Q&As, but I know everyone that's on here now probably didn't see those videos. So it wasn't a uni course in Australia. It is a TAFE course, so like trade school. So it was just a Cert 3 in Sports Turf Management, which is a 3-year course, I believe. So after the 3 years, while you're doing the 3 years of study, for me personally, it was 1 day a week for 3 years. And on the other 4 days of the week, I was working full-time for the local city council and working in sports turf management like that. A lot of guys in my class were from golf courses or from race courses, everywhere pretty much. So sports turf management at trade school. I think in the US, they go to college and do sports turf science maybe. It's more of a theory-based qualification, not really practical-based. But yeah, in Australia, it's trade school, sports turf management. All right, next question is from Kaylee X234. How can I get into turf/pitch management? And when the season is back, do you think you could travel to different or subscribers clubs and play? During the off-season, I would like to see some more VR cricket, maybe even Cricket 24 if you play it. Lovely content. Cheers. So yeah, pretty much exactly what I said in that previous question about the sports turf management. And from there, if you want to get into like cricket pitches and stuff like that, you're just going to have to get a job at like a council that do cricket pitches, or at a school or your local club. You can do some volunteer experience work there as well. All right, next one is from Speedies-Cricket. For Q&A, was it easy starting the GoPro cricket vlogs? I've recently started them and it is a lot of work to just edit and film a 30-minute net session. Was it just something you picked up along the years of making the vlogs? It was pretty, like when I first started, I was doing it on computer. I was trying to edit it and it would take like 8 hours to get it to like from downloading all the film onto the computer and then going onto the computer and downloading it using Premiere Pro. And it was just so time consuming that it was like basically my whole Sunday. And then I was uploading straight away on the Sunday night. So I ended up getting CapCut on my phone and found it so much easier just editing everything on my phone. Little tips that I found in the last sort of season and a half to help with the editing is whenever there's something like if I hit a 4 or a 6, or if someone that I'm batting with hits a 4 or a 6, or when I'm wicket keeping, if there's a 4 or a 6 or a wicket, once it happens, or if someone says something funny or if I say something funny, once it happens, I'll wait a couple of seconds and then I'll put my hand over the GoPro for like a second or two, take it off, and then when I'm editing, I can just go straight to that, and I know that there's something happened just before that, so it makes it easier to clip and cut it all together, if that makes sense. But I guess, yeah, like making TikToks and everything like that over the years leading up to transitioning to YouTube sort of helped with understanding a bit of editing as well. Next question is from Aussie Cricket Edits. How did you get into groundskeeping job, and what uni/TAFE course did you do for it? I've already answered that one, so hopefully you can just go back to that question. Another question, what is the soil used under most cricket pitches and what turf is most commonly used? In the off-season, can you do more VR cricket and more of the groundskeeping video? So the soil in Australia is mostly Merri Creek clay, I believe. Definitely in Victoria and I think Adelaide and Tasmania, maybe New South Wales. Most of it's all Merri Creek clay. And the most common grass type used on cricket pitches is probably any variation of couch. Tiff Tough is starting to come into play a little bit now. They're starting to sort of transition some couch wicket tables to Tiff Tough to see how that goes. And a lot of clubs oversow with ryegrass early in the season just to get through the first few games after football season, because the couch is all sort of buried and doesn't, like the climate here doesn't really heat up until sort of late November, early December. So October, when you got those first few games, the cooch isn't really going to be like prevalent in the wicket table, so the ryegrass really helps do that. And then you can always spray that out in the December break, and then the cooch will fire back up and get you through the rest of the season as well. All right, this next question is from C Potter 92. Potter. Question. Well, the whole comment says, more day in the life vlogs, including turf-related stuff. Enjoy the day in the life vlogs when you were overseas. I also enjoyed those. Question. What actually got you into turf management, and what's your next big plans? So what got me into turf management? Nothing really. Like, nothing sticks out. Like, I played cricket and football growing up, and at high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in year 12. So I finished year 12, didn't really know what to do. I was kind of floating, and my dad was always like, just go get a job at the council, because it's like a safe, secure job, and you get your fortnightly RDOs, and you get decent pay and everything. He was like, oh, there's an apprenticeship for turf. So he kept saying, just go show your face. So I kept going to the council's like depot and knocking on the door of like the manager there and saying, hey, I'm Blake, any jobs? And then once a turf job came up as an apprentice, I applied for it and had an interview straight away and got the job. And from there, I just sort of enjoyed it, got through. I actually moved to Melbourne and tried to get out of turf management for a little bit when I first. So I finished there after 6 years, moved to Melbourne, and I was thinking I wanted to change a career, but it was kind of all I knew, and I think I just needed a change of scenery. So once I got here, I ended up working at the private school I was previously at, and began this whole social media journey as well, showing you guys, and that sort of reinvigorated my love for working within the turf industry. As for my next big plans, I'm just sort of taking life as it comes at the moment. I'm open to opportunities. If anything comes up that sounds intriguing to me, I'll definitely look into it. But yeah, right now I'm just cruising here, working at a nice job, and yeah, just taking everything in my stride. All right, this next question is from Mikey the Scorer. Hey Blake, for the Q&A, when you started doing match day vlogs, what was the reaction from your teammates? Did it take them a while to get around it? Also, in terms of off-season content, I would really like you to do the turf work videos, so that would be cool. So when I started doing the match day vlogs, I remember the first time, like the first few videos were just on TikTok, so I got one of my teammates to video a little bit, and they did really well on TikTok, and I was like, oh, yeah, like I can't remember who said I should get a GoPro and do that, and I was kind of skeptical. I was like, oh, I don't want to look like a dick doing it. And I remember I bought a little camera, like a DJI Action or something, and I took it to cricket training with me, and the captain of the ones at Brighton Cricket Club, Cass, I remember I showed him, I said, oh, I've got to go, and he just laughed, and he goes, fuck off, don't wear that shit. And I was like, nah, I want to test it out. And I used it in the nets a couple of times, and then I just sort of, it was more me getting over the fear of walking out to the crease on a Saturday and wearing it. My teammates didn't really care, because it was the first few videos, it was literally just my batting. I cut out everything else, it was literally just my batting. And then, yeah, like I think my captain didn't really like it at the time, but the team ended up getting around it, and they wanted to sort of, I think once they started seeing that people were watching the videos on YouTube and commenting in, and or like they would message them and say, oh, don't you play with Blake? And they were like, yeah, and then they wanted to get in the videos, and a couple of guys from overseas that played with us, like their friends that were living in like Scotland and Ireland and England were watching my videos, and then they were like, that's a guy I went to school with or whatever, and then they would get contact, and then it was sort of just become like, all right, I'll film as much as I can and put the whole thing in. And once I started wicket keeping again, that was better because everyone else sort of got to, it was their bowling as well, and then I just filmed all the games. And yeah, now that I'm back at the Bears, they all love it. I think they like getting around it. They talk to the camera and stuff like that. So it's all good. This one is from Connor Thorpe 3973. More in the live videos will be sick, mate. Hope you go ahead with winter cricket. For Q&A, would you travel to other states for like a one-off game or a couple of games if you had the chance? Absolutely. Absolutely I would. Especially like in our off-season, so now in autumn and winter. I know that there's Darwin comps and maybe up north, Queensland. I don't know like if they play cricket now, but there's a lot of comps up the northern side of Australia that still play cricket throughout our winter. Absolutely, I would love to get on a plane and go play some cricket and do that. Not that many clubs should use me as like a pro player, but I guess it helps get a bit of eyeballs on their club, and it can promote their club in a way that maybe they haven't been able to do so. So, I mean, I'm open to opportunities. If any club's watching this and they want to reach out to me, feel free to DM me. So, yeah, the question is, the answer to your question is absolutely. Next question is from Sean Anderson 5019. Q&A, is there a chance of a ghetto on tour through cricket season where you go around and be a star player for teams? We want more golf. Drinking golf challenges. Drinking golf challenges would be fun. I did it once and it got like 200 views on YouTube, so I don't know if it's a video that people want to watch, but there is definitely a chance I could do more of that. But as for your question, the ghetto on tour, this kind of ties in with the last question I had. Yeah, there's definitely a chance. If clubs want it and I'm free and available to go do so, and it's like in the best interest of both of us and it works out like for both of us, then absolutely I'll do it. I don't know about star player, but I'll definitely go and be a scrub. This next one is from Levi6400. Hey B Ghetto, love your vlogs and cricket content. I would like to see more VR cricket and more videos of you working around the school and making cricket pitches. Q&A, what are your top 5 foods or songs? So I'll give you 2 songs and 3 foods. Let me think. It's hard. They're both very hard questions to do. So it's like all time or like right now. As for songs, all time, I'm going to say Cold Chisel, Flame Trees is up there because I've just listened to it my whole life because it's my dad's favourite song and he used to sing it all the time and play it all the time. So it's just ingrained in my head. I never skip it when it comes on. So Flame Trees by Cold Chisel. Love Yours by J. Cole is a song that I've actually got tattooed on my wrist. So I'll chuck that in there as well. And as for 5 foods, foods is hard. I'll give you like 3 things. So a Zinger box, can't go wrong with Zinger box unless you get it from Clayton KFC. Trash. Skittles, I do enjoy Skittles, and tacos. I love me some tacos. Just the variations. You can get so many different tacos. I love it. This next one is from Rachel Reeves 971. Q&A. How did you get into keeping? Wicket keeping. My brother actually used to be a keeper growing up, and I used to want to be like him. He was a gun cricketer, good batsman, good wicket keeper, and I wanted to be like that. And obviously, when you play juniors, everyone kind of gets a shot at wicket keeping or bowling and batting. And I can't remember. I think it was maybe in under 16s we needed a wicket keeper, and I started wicket keeping, and then that sort of stemmed into wicket keeping in like C grade, in senior level, and then in A2, which we had an A1 and A2. So like the A2 comp was like a first 11 comp for most clubs, but we had our second 11 in A2. So I started wicket keeping and I moved up from C grade to A2. And then in the first 11 as well, I got a couple of games keeping, but we had a keeper, but he was a baker. So he would always rock up late to games, like an hour late or 2 hours late. So I would always wicket keep the first couple of hours, and then he would come, and he was much better keeper up to the stumps than me, definitely. And probably behind us, everything. He was just better keeper. But yeah, that's essentially what got me into wicket keeping, and I just like it because I get to, I have to focus every single ball, so you can't really take a ball off. It keeps you engaged in the game. When I'm fielding, I sometimes get a little bit bored, so the wicket keeping gets me up and about, keeps me involved, feel like I'm contributing to the team. Even if I have a bad game batting, I'm still contributing behind the stumps. Next question. This is from Brock Y. I hope I've said that correctly. Q&A question. Would you ever go to an NBA team? And if so, what 2 teams would you want to verse? I also think you should vlog yourself doing net sessions and even shooting basketball around. Much love. Thank you, brother. So I'm a Golden State Warriors fan, not a bandwagoner. I started with them like 2011 or something. I started watching the NBA in 2010 as a Miami Heat fan because someone said, oh, LeBron's gone there, go for them, they'll be good. And I didn't know anything about them, so I was like, okay. And then once I actually got League Pass and started watching every team, I really liked Steph Curry, and I just wanted to watch him all the time, and I found myself watching the Golden State Warriors and rooting for them a lot more than Miami. And since like 2011 I've been with the Golden State, so I'd want to watch Steph Curry play, and I mean, I want to watch Steph versus LeBron and Luka. Luka's my second favorite player, so Warriors versus Lakers, that's a given. Next one is from Lewis78134. Q&A. What made you play cricket? My dad. My dad was the coach of the under 14s in Wonthaggi where I grew up, and my brother was playing, and we used to always play in the backyard together, and Dad used to always say 6 and out, so if you hit it over the fence, you're out. So that taught my brother to be really defensive. Didn't really stick with me, but yeah, I was scared of cricket balls, and I had to go to cricket training one day with him because I guess I was a kid, and Dad was like, "No, you're coming," and I was scared shitless of cricket balls, and they just kept throwing me the ball to catch it and stuff. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old, and then I just started playing, and haven't really stopped since. I had a year or two off when I was 18, and then I had a year off when it was COVID. So yeah, that's pretty much what got me into cricket. My dad. Next question is from Shots669 Q&A. What is your highest score in cricket? Also, I reckon you should play winter cricket, and maybe even indoor cricket could be fun to watch. My highest score in cricket is on the wall back there. The scorecard under that Dragon Ball Z poster is the scorecard of my highest score, and that was my first ever 100 that I made, which was 111 runs, and I have not made 100 since. I have made a couple of 80s, a couple of 70s and 60s, but I've never gotten into the 90s since that 100, and that was in the first 11 in Monthaggy, and we went on to win the flag that year as well. So that was like 3 games before the grand final, maybe 4 games before the grand final. I was on the verge of getting dropped, came out, made 100, kept my spot, won a flag. Beauty. This one is from Cricketers Q&A. Could Shane Warne get Don Bradman out in 5 overs? Oh, tough. Warney is a very good bowler, but Don Bradman is a very good batter. Different errors, so it's hard to say. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say Warney can get anyone out, despite like every good batter has been out. Like Don Bradman has gone out to bad bowlers before, so yes, I'm going to say Shane Warne could get Don Bradman out. It depends on the situation. Like if he was out there and he knew he just had to survive 5 overs, I'm sure he could probably survive. But if he was playing and had to chase runs and stuff, I think Shane Warne could get him out. Next one is from Thomas Peacock 8583. Always love the content. Would really enjoy your work vlogs. Question for Q&A. Are you going back to Holland again? No, this season, no, I'm not. So I worked there last year for 4 months or so, and it was really good. I loved it. It was enjoyable. Great people, great club. It was good. But the only reason why I've turned it down this year, because they did want me to go back, and I originally wanted to go back, but upon coming back here and being around my dog and being around my family and everything like that, I just thought I didn't want to do it again, because it would be for a 7-month period, and I just didn't want to do 7 months away from my friends, my family, and my dog. If everything worked out well and I could get my dog over there and maybe bring a friend as well, so I had a bit more over there, and like the Europe pay gap compared to here is not very good. So if I had went over there for 7 months, I think I worked out that I'd be losing out on about $20,000 to $25,000 by not working here and working over there, which isn't really ideal when you've got a mortgage to pay and like everything else going on as well. Alright, next one is from FinnyBoy4542. Q&A, favourite cricket bat brand? I mean, I gotta say the Bespoke. It's gotta be the Bespoke. Look at this. If you haven't noticed already, I've changed the stickers and I've gone with the black Royale, and I like it. I like the black. I think it looks clean. It's very sleek. Got the BGHETTO on there in black as well. So we'll say Bespoke. Every single brand has good looking bats or good looking colorways and stuff like that, but right now I'm going to say the Bespoke. Next one is from Just Austin-K7K. Who's your favorite cricket player of all time, and what was your favorite batting or bowling they have done? My favorite cricket player of all time is Adam Gilchrist. Fantastic wicketkeeper, batsman. I sort of try to model my game after him. He's an aggressive batsman if you've ever seen him play, and he's a fantastic wicketkeeper. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but legit everything. Like, I can't pinpoint one specific moment, but just always exciting to watch, whether it be in the test match format or one-day format. It was just always exciting because he didn't change the way he plays because of the change of format. This one is from Manus101-Q3R. Q&A. Who's your favourite cricketer? Please use. I will use, and it is Adam Gilchrist. Of all time, Adam Gilchrist. Next one is Jan Mian-or-Jam. Q&A. When did you start cricket, and did you ever want to go professional? I started cricket when I was about 7 or 8 years old in under 14s for Monthaggy. We didn't have anything less than under 14, so playing that with my brother and all the other kids in the area. Did I ever want to go professional? I think every kid wants to go professional in a sport. I'd say it was cricket more than football for me, but it was never like a super high driven passion going, I need to get to the Australian cricket team. I'm going to reach that. I think my brother was always more determined to get to that, and he ended up playing for KC South Melbourne in the Premier Cricket. I think he only got to as high as playing in the second 11 for them, but travelling from Wonthaggi to Melbourne weekly was not very ideal, so he ended up just coming back and playing for Wonthaggi. This one is from Josh_Gill. What's your highest score and what club was it for? My highest score was 111 runs, as I mentioned in the previous question, and it was for the Wonthaggi Miners Cricket Club, who are no longer a cricket club anymore. They folded 1 year after I left. Coincidence? Next one is from Damien Anderson 2969. Q&A, any plans to head back to the Netherlands? As previously mentioned in another question, not this season, perhaps in future seasons I will consider it if everything is suits both parties. Next one is from LJ Shock 7895. Q&A question, how did your teammates react to using your GoPro? Do they like it or find it weird? Once again, as mentioned in the previous question, I've had no issues. They all seem to like it. They get around it. A couple of players are like, but they all get around it. I think they enjoy the way it's edited and everything like that, and no one's made to look shit or look bad apart from myself. So I think they all get around it. They all like it. Next one is from Deirdre Q&A. What is Marshall's origin story? Marshall is right here. My dog. Marshall is my boy. His origin story. Well, I always wanted a medium-sized dog, and Marshall is not that. But I had a random day off in September, 7 years ago almost? Like 7 years ago, I think it was 2018. And I woke up, had breakfast. I had a girlfriend at the time that I was living with in Melbourne. Didn't tell her about it. And when I was out for breakfast by myself, I was looking on, what's the website? Gumtree. I was looking on Gumtree at dogs, and I saw a litter of black Jack Russells, and I was like, dang, I ain't never seen no black Jack Russells. And it was 30-minute drive away, and they were like $750. So I thought, I'll go have a look. I got cash out anyway, just in case. And I drove down there, had a look. They were all jumping over me and chewing on my shoelaces. Marshall was in the corner of the room, had a little cut on his belly, and was very shy and timid. The other dogs used to bully him because he was the runt of the litter, and they wouldn't let him eat. Yeah, so he had all cuts on his belly. He's still got a scar here somewhere, there, I think. And I said, how much for that one? And the lady was like, you can have him for half price. He's the runt of the litter. He's like, no one wants him. And I was like, I'll take him. And he was tiny. He was like fitting in my hands. I'll put some pictures up next to us. And yeah, since then, he's been my best friend. So yeah, I can't imagine life without him. And that's mostly the reason why I'm not going back to the Netherlands, because I don't want to leave Marshall for that long. It's not fair on him, it's not fair on me, and it's not fair on my family to have to look after him. So, yeah, that's Marshall's origin story. Next one is from Mitchell Douglas-M5X. For Q&A, what's one tip you have for keeping up to the stumps? I'm not the best keeper in the world to ask these questions, but I will give you a tip for keeping up to the stumps that helps me. Just stay low as long as you possibly can. And try come up with the ball. Obviously, pitches vary in bounds, so sometimes it will come up higher, some will stay low. Just try and watch the ball, remove the batsman. Try and look past the batsman, and it's just you and the bowler. Watch the ball, stay low, and don't even focus on the bat. It's hard sometimes if the batter has a weird backlift that's in your eye line, and you're kind of like, I need to see, but yeah, just stay low as long as you can and come up with the ball. All right, this next question is from the Aussies 5133. For the Q&A, what was your favourite cricket moment of the summer? I think the favourite moment for me was the first game after Christmas with a brand new bespoke cricket bat that I won in a giveaway. I'd been speaking to the coach a little bit before the Christmas break, and I wasn't making runs, I wasn't wicket keeping, I wasn't bowling. I felt like I just wasn't contributing, and like I was getting picked in the twos based on what I had done in the past and not based on my form of the season. So I was kind of wanting to be dropped down to the threes. I wanted to prove to myself I could make runs, and so I got dropped down to the threes, and I was wicket keeping as well. And I made I batted decent amount of time. I just wanted to go out there and just bat time and get runs, and I ended up getting like 60 runs, and then wicket kept pretty well as well. So it was good that was probably my favourite moment, just going out there and proving to myself that I can make runs when I actually lock in and want to make runs. I mean, I always want to make runs, but when I actually lock in and I'm determined, I can still do it, and hopefully I continue doing that next year. This season wasn't the best, but hopefully next season I can come back a bit more refreshed and eager for runs, and hopefully it goes my way. This one is from I Hate School-05J. Who do you go for in the Big Bash? I honestly don't even watch the Big Bash. I watched the first like 3 or 4 seasons. I went to a few games and stuff. It was more exciting back then. Now I don't really watch any of it. I can't even tell you who won it this year. I used to go for the Melbourne Stars, so I'll say Melbourne Stars, but yeah. Okay, this one is from Viking Cricketer 92. Where did the bread come from? I've been watching for a while now and can't remember if you've said anything or just started doing it. So that refers to, at the end of my videos, I always say, thanks for watching, bread. I actually say thanks for washing, bread. So I'll put a video up next to me here. You can watch this, and this is literally what I saw like 4 or 5 years ago when I first downloaded TikTok, and I was trying to figure out what outro to do, or intro. So my intro was always because I wanted people to scroll, and as soon as they heard that, they knew it was my video. And the outro, I wanted to just make something that sort of was just a outro in every single video I did. So this is the video here.
Yo, let's cut some bread with something sharp. Oh, that's nice. Bread.
So that was pretty funny. Dude cutting bread. And then everyone doing it, and it went super viral. And people was going bread with him, and I just started saying bread, and it just stuck. And I don't think that's a video anymore that's doing anything, but I'm still saying bread. This one is from MYTRS. Do you have half-back sized hoodies, 4XL, with a laughing emoji? So what you're referring to is these BGHETTO hoodies that I'm wearing right now. Fantastic. AS colour, great quality, good fit. People that have bought them have messaged me and said how comfy they are and how good of a fit they are, and they feel so nice. So you got the logo there. You got it on the back right here as well. And at the time of recording this video, I only have 5 smalls left and 1 extra large. So there's only 6 hoodies left. If you want one, there's a link in the description to this video. As for the 4XL, I only went as high as 2XL. Maybe in the next batch, I won't do smalls because I haven't really sold many smalls, and I'll go up to maybe 3XL. I don't know, 4XL, I feel like that's going to be very, very big, but got to give the people what they want. All right, this next one is from James G8972. Which club on the Bayside has the worst set of blokes? Interesting question. I've only played for one club on the Bayside area, which was Brighton. I've never had any issues with anyone from another club. Like with the videos and everything, they all sort of got around it. I'm not a angry person on the field. I don't sledge really anyone. And if I do, I always go up to them after and be like, nah, just fucking around. So I never had any issues with any other team really. I mean, yeah, none really. Like, I don't know all the people, so I can't really judge based on that. So the only team I played for was Brighton, and they're all good blokes. Like 98% of them are good blokes, so I can't really say that. I don't know. No team, no comment. This one is from Behind the Stumps -QG1EN. What division and team do you play for, and do you get match fees? Please put me in the Q&A. I play for the Deep Dean Bears, and the division that I played most of the season in was A-Turf, which was our second 11, but it is a first 11 competition. Most other clubs in that division are first 11 teams. There was only 3 second 11 teams in there, which was us, Old Carey, and Mont Albert. Old Carey ended up last on the ladder, and they have been relegated back to B-Turf. So the winner of B-Turf will come up to A-Turf, and we are yet to see who that is. But yeah, it's Deep Dean Bears, A-Turf. Oh, and as for match fees, no, I do not get paid match fees. All right, this one is from Chris Broadbent 7778. Have you ever been asked, demanded maybe, to prepare a deck a specific way? If so, what did they want, why, etc.? Did that request give you the shits? Not really. Everyone sort of just lets me do my thing. I have had one request in the past which backfired badly. So it was at the previous place I used to work at. The team needed an outright win, but they didn't really need an outright win, but they wanted an outright win because they thought they were playing the bottom team. They wanted an outright win to jump up and potentially get to the top of the ladder. I was told, make it a green wicket, lots of juice in it. Like, we want to bowl first, roll them, and then on day 2, like, because it's Friday, Saturday, they wanted to bowl first, roll them, and then chase the runs, and then put them back in, bowl them out again. So it was pretty toss, like, it relied heavily on the toss. You have to win the toss. And I had all the text messages and everything about like this coach asking me as well. I've still got the text messages of this coach asking me to do this. So I've got the receipts. It backfired on them. They got put into bat, got rolled for like 60. The other team came out, made like 240, and then sent us back in, and I think rolled us again for like 150. So we ended up getting outrighted, but the other team made like 240. So that was my excuse. I'm like, you can't really blame the pitch when you've been rolled for 60 and then got rolled again after they already made 240 for 150. And then the coach said to me, he goes, yeah, that's on me. I fucked up. I asked you to do that. But then it turned out he actually told everyone else that it was my fault. And there was people coming for me at the place I worked at being like, oh, I'm like, nah, bro, I've got the receipts. I showed them the text message. I'm like, no. This was not my doing. You know the wickets I usually prepare. I don't do this. So I did what I was asked to do. And this person has come out and said, no, it wasn't me, it was him. Because he wanted to please all the parents and have an excuse to keep his name not tarnished. But it was him that fucking did it. Dog. All right, this next one is Sotty Knows. Q&A. How many cans of Die Spider Die did you use on that redback spider last week? So he's referring to the day in the week in life video preparing the semi-final pitch. There was a big redback on the stencil for the crease where I was holding it. I didn't use any. I didn't kill it. I literally just put the stencil on the ground, grabbed a leaf, caught the spider on the leaf, and then put it in the garden. I didn't try to kill it or anything. It doesn't really bother me. I'm not scared of spiders or anything like that. It was just like because it was so close to my hand, I was like, dang, I could have got bitten, but yeah, no, I didn't kill it. He's hopefully still living happily somewhere. This one is from Darcy Finn. What's your highest score in cricket? 111. Said it in a couple of questions before. Thanks for the question though. This next one is from Shakith Sudhasan 4020. How have you scored more runs? I don't know what that means. If you're saying like I'm so shit, how have I even scored any runs? Because I don't know. This one is from Cody Nickel 7327. Will you go overseas again and be a groundsman? Would love to. Not this season, not to the Netherlands, but I would love to if the situation was right moving forward. And finally, this one is from Luke Merritt 5889. What is your dog's name? My dog's name is Marshall, and he is my best friend. What do you reckon about that, huh? You reckon you're my best friend? I'm your best friend, for sure. Anyway, thanks to everyone that contributed by posting these questions on the comments of previous video and giving me some questions to answer on this video. As always, thanks for watching. Bread.
The end.